think I was looking for someone that understood the business instead of just being a doer. So I think when we chatted, I also saw that you're able to understand strategy. That's one. The other one was I think you were, flexible enough to suggest different things and be open with what you think with the TBX business, right? So I think it's a combination of someone that was able to kind of do strategy execution plus I think being open and flexible with the plan that we had. And also, I think there weren't a lot of great people that I was looking at. And I think with you, you were also well positioned with content marketing, which was one of the things that we had to make sure that we were launching, and we've done that well now. So I think that was also a good indication of somebody who specializes in that, right? Somebody that understood how content marketing can be used, somebody that had delivered results. I think that played a factor to it. Obviously, I'm a believer in it, right? I've been doing the podcast, and
right, yeah,
we're gonna implement the work you did, right, for the company. Well, I think from a personal standpoint, I think you're somebody that understands EQ, right? You know the people in the team. I think there's many times when you were working with the interns that we had, you were able to position the messaging well. Also didn't want to step on people's toes. I think another personally is, you kind of understood my situation, like doing a lot of different things and when to push on some things, when not to push on some things. So I think I really enjoyed that part of it. Personally, professionally, I think I really enjoyed how you didn't just jump into things, right? And you spend time first understanding every single time, right? Okay, what is the pain point? What's the pain point? Let's do interviews. Let's look at customers. Let's look at the messaging. So I think it was about really getting to the root cause of stuff, and building it as if it's something that you care about, which many people unfortunately nowadays don't. So I think you're detail oriented, people perspective, being able to work with different personalities, and being pleasant to work with, and understanding, right, the people you're working with. So yeah, that was all good, man. I haven't given it much thought, and I'm the type of person who I like to give feedback at the same time when it happens. So if I haven't been sharing much, it means overall, when you compare yourself to others, even on my team, I think you everything was great. If I had to pick something, let me think. I think maybe, and this is not, and I'm trying to position this in terms of as you go on to work with other businesses that are startups, right? Because I think that's what you're targeting, tech startups. What kinds of things could become problematic? I think maybe not assuming that the people have all the answers would be one thing to keep in mind. And again, this is not something that happened with me, but I could see it happening if maybe I wasn't paying attention. But I think places where, for example, we're doing TBX or the podcast, right? And the podcast is serving a different purpose. It's really for the sports side of things, which is a different brand. TBX, the digital transformation firm. So I think I knew the difference between the two.
Right.
But if you were to work with a CEO who's not as diligent, or a team where you're working with somebody in the company, and I think it would just make more, to be safe, don't assume they have all the answers. I think it's go into each path, make sure that what you're proposing or what they're looking to do, they understand, because a lot of times people are running around, and they're busy. So I think that would be probably the biggest thing, is really diving into what the brand is about, what are the different services they're trying to offer, to make sure that you're not cutting off any probable streams in the future that they might want to pursue. I think you absolutely did what we signed up for. We had a 6-month term, which is completed. I think our goals at the beginning were different. Obviously, it was based on we're trying to get TBX to grow, but obviously we made a pivot, right? So I think, to be fair, you supported setting up the new business. You supported with some other stuff. So our goals changed, right? So if a goals change, I think, unfortunately, there wasn't much tangible KPIs that we set up because we're building something for the long term. But in terms of the actual doing the work that I had asked for, that you promised, I think there was nothing that was below average when looking back at it. Yeah, yeah. If somebody comes to me and says looking for somebody to drive revenue through content marketing, to manage their funnels in terms of raising awareness, I think you'll probably be somebody that I would recommend, for sure. No, man, I think it was great working with you, Winston. You're one of the people that we started this thing off with. We made a bunch of progress with. So just wanted to say thanks for all your help. And as we discussed, we probably will work together in the future, whether it's again through my business or helping recommend you to whoever I can.